Okay, hi. Yes, I know I've been saying I'm gonna get around to Zelda Echoes of Wisdom or Ghost of Tsushima, and that'll happen eventually, I swear. But I have some other games that I need to talk about because I beat them before then. Oopsie. Um so yeah, we're just gonna do another. So yeah, today we're just gonna get right into it. We're covering three and a half games again, and I think it's a really good bunch of games, actually, unsurprisingly, actually. So, first off, we have Chants of Sennaar. This game is like a investigative detective like puzzle game, and it's really cool. It's a really cool game. So you're playing as this like hooded guy, and essentially you're climbing the Tower of Babel. Each like floor speaks a different language, and the first floor speaks a different language from you. And so essentially the puzzle mechanics revolve around you piecing together from context what each individual character means, so like what each word is, to be able to solve problems. And then as you go up the towers, not only are you doing context related problem solving, but you're also piecing together based on other characters and words you know from earlier languages. And it's just all really, really, really cool. I just think it's like super interesting. I think it's such a fun concept for a game, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it is a phenomenally made game. I just don't have much more to say on it, but it was really good, and I would highly recommend checking it out. Oh my lord, it's so good. Next, we have Neva. This is a game made by the same studio that made Gris. And for those of you who don't know, Gris is one of like my favorite games ever. It's just gorgeous, and something about the audiovisual experience really hits hard for me. So I was fucking thrilled when the studio announced that they were making a new game. And I mean, like, look at it. Like, it looks great. It sounds great. It is just super cute. You're playing as this girl, and she has this little deer, wolf, fox creature, and you're living out in the wilderness, and there's these like goo monsters that show up, and it's essentially just you living and growing with Neva, the little creature, and protecting your wilderness from this like goo stuff. And it's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty great game. Like, not only does it have the audiovisual appeal of Gris for me personally, but like also it frankly has a bit more going on gameplay wise. Like there's actual like combat and stuff. It's not the most in-depth combat, but there is combat. This story like kind of started to hit really hard for me, because like a big part of it is like kind of like learning and growing with like an animal, say a pet perhaps, and like dealing with death and all that jazz. And my dog died recently, and that kind of made it all hit a little harder than it probably was intended to. But beyond that, I did still like just like really love this game. It was just a fantastic experience, and I would highly recommend it. And then we have a little bonus round for Hades 2. It's a bonus round because right now it's in early access, so it isn't fully released, and therefore there isn't technically a fully finished point to get to. And so I'm not going to talk super long on it, because I'm sure once the full version is released, I will make a whole video on it. So just mentioning it now, like it a lot, it's really good. I love Hades. Animation is gorgeous, voice acting is fantastic, music is stellar, gameplay kicks ass. Hades 2 is so good. And I would say it is largely just notable improvement from the first game. And that's all I'm going to say on that for right now. So I'll see you later on that one. The final game we're going to talk about today is 1000 Times Resist. And now, this is kind of a difficult game for me to talk about because, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to put my thoughts into words on this game. Like, this game, it's very story focused. There's, to be blunt, not a ton going on gameplay wise. Like, you know, you walk around, you can make some dialogue choices and like choose who you talk to, I guess. But like, for the most part, gameplay is pretty light in this. But that isn't like the main priority, so that's kind of okay. I think story-wise and like character-wise and everything, I think this game is incredible. It's really truly hard to put into words how good this game is. And I think a big part of it is just that this game really tackles like so many different like topics and themes. Like, you know, like it's talking about generational trauma, parenthood, racism, xenophobia, like revolution. Like, just like there's a lot of different themes, and that's like not even scratching the surface, that list right there. There's a lot of different themes, and they all get like handled very well, and it's just it's so much. But it really just like grips you. It really just enraptures you in it. And I think all of the characters are great, and I think it does a particularly good job of writing like the background characters. I think they do a particularly good job of being like having some sort of arc, even if it is a background thing that you're not really meant to like pay super close attention to. Quick overview of what the actual story is. So essentially, you're living like way in the future, and humanity is dead because these big old like fourth dimensional alien things show up and then kill everyone with a disease. Eventually, it is revealed that this regular high school girl named Iris is immune to said disease, and so international governments take very much interest in her. She is secured away, and then they work on figuring out like cloning and shit. And then through a series of background things that I won't get into because that's kind of part of the plot, she essentially is the last like living person, along with her varying clones that are essentially her children, and that's like the entire human population. So that's a lot. Like, she's just a girl, really, but ooh, ooh boy. You play as Watcher, which all of the clones, kind of their names are just like their role. So like you have Knower, Healer, Seeker, Principal, Watcher, Bang Bang Fire, of course. And so you're Watcher, and the Watcher's role is essentially to experience, like, watch/live through Iris's memories and like maintain the information from that, and like how that plays into their like pseudo society thing. Um, it's really hard to explain, or at least hard for me to explain. All around, I think this game was fantastic. I think it has like a pretty nice visual style, and from the trailers, I was kind of sold on it from it kind of having Nier Automata and like Signalis vibes, and I love both of those games, so I was like, okay, I'm in. Say less. But I don't know, it's a lot. It's weird how this game has frankly like been rattling around in my brain since I started it nonstop, and yet I also kind of have a hard time explaining why, you know? But that's also why I included it here in this speedround video instead of giving it its own video, because I did play it for long enough that according to my own rules, it should have its own video. But I was like, I know I can't explain why I love this game as much as I do. So it's going here. But I do love this game a lot. I think it's just really impressive how something was able to stick so much for me, and like it definitely helps that like I believe it was fully voice acted, and the voice acting was really good for being a bunch of, as far as I can tell, nobodies. Like it was good. I liked it a lot, and I really do think that anyone watching should play this game. It's really good. And yeah, that's it for this speed round, for this episode of Flora's Garden. And yeah, so if you didn't notice, I got a Steam Deck over the holidays, and so unfortunately that means I'm playing more games on Steam and using Steam more, because I used to be like pretty strictly a console girly. And so unfortunately that means that like games go on sale for much better sales and much more frequently, so I am much more enabled to impulse buy shit. So that's why all 4 of the games in this video are things that I own and beat / Hades too. So yeah, sorry, my bad. I swear to God I'm gonna get around to Zelda. I swear to God, I'm like halfway through, or like a bit more than halfway through. I swear to God I'm gonna get back to it. I swear to God. But I'm making no promises on whether that will be the next video or not. So we'll see what that is. Who's to say? I don't know. I will see you next time though. Bye.